Tashidele. Tadaringagi Nale Gomjabnigi Rimbanale. To Lunda Dewa Wigi, Gomgikole, Tumdachi Shunivi Institute. The Yangachi Sanga Gilulu, the Sanga Ningma da Sarmasi, Niumi, Nisharada Jawayumi, the Machi Lungi Togolo, to Gomjamni Migikole, the Ikole Tumdachi Shugi Institute.
Tashi Dele. Today, I am going to share how to meditate based on the breathing. And we have generally two types of tradition, the older tradition and the newer tradition. But what is common is actually the breathing. So based on this, I would like to share how to carry on our meditative practices.
Da lungomni mama shuye malu lungi gole dumra chi shuwajin danga chi sangagi nalu sanga lana mibigilu sanga lana mibigi gyudi sunalo sangi chomdin digi ngachira lu yubigi dele lu nga yisumne tindibe sangi nigi tablamdi mata tuno omdalu dele tablamdi nibe di kirimda zugrim se nibe da kirim simidil hagomnida zugrim simidi da sangigi sagugi ishidi ngachigi kadebe da dungindu chunina te kadebe ngachigi digi togalu janina ani nibe tuno se.
So as I would like to guide you to the meditation, before that I would like to give a little bit of introduction about what is actually meant by breathing or wind, we could call it. So as Buddha gave the teachings, he gave teachings in many ways, and particularly we have one section called as the unsurpassable Tantra tradition. And based on this, it talks about two stages. The first stage is called creation stage, where you are actually introduced and advised how to visualize the deities. And then the second stage is called the completion stage, in which actually the Buddha teaches us how to actualize the inborn or insight or the wisdom of the Buddhas through this completion stage practices.
Daniba zogrimgi ishidi gomdalu, the Tsalungi Tuleve Gomendelo, Chenchi Zogrims, the Letalung Mebabe Gomendelo, Chenme Zogrim, Seni Abdalo, the Deringachi Gomnidi, Lunda Jawayan Mibinidi, the Chenchi Zogrim Semidis.
So even for the now, as regards to the completion stage practices, there are also two types of stages within this. And the first category is actually the practice oriented or based on the breathing exercise and also the channel systems of our body. We have this kind of a completion stage, which is actually called as what we call the meditative practice, completion stage of with characteristics. Is it okay? Did I get that right? So please help me with this term as well. And then second part is you will be normally practicing without, engaging or employing our bodily nervous system and the physical application of the practice. So that is called the characterless kind of a completion stage. So today, as I'm going to be presenting related to the wind, so I will talk the first part with the character one, the completion stage with characters.
The Chenchi Zogrim Lungdi Gomdalo, the Chumdindigi, Nachiralu, the Lungara, Chuta Duajin, the Chutam, the Lung Chutam Dilo, Tsawi Lunga, the Yanagi Lunga, the Chutam Yabdalo, the Tsawi Lunga Simidi Tambo, the Chabjigi Lung Simidi, Nachigi Zuga, Aralu Chabdi, Lundi, the Hani Lundi, Namtenjo Mosudalo, then Nachi Shuda Patenjo is.
So when we now focus on the first part of the completion stage with characters, it's actually we have to now focus on to the different types of wind that flows through our circulates through our nervous system, and there are at least 10 of them, the 10 primary winds, and they are actually the 10 primary winds includes the branch 5 veins and the root 5 veins. So totally there are 10 of them. And one of them is actually called all-pervasive wind. And all-pervasive wind actually resides within us until now, and then the day we die, this actually escapes from our body.
자위 룽하기 니범디들이 genjugi lung 실라비스다 genjugi lung 심이디 마치기 꿰밀레베데 마 동협기 바나로 야주 마주 잡이시 다 거기 라디 그 집에 오면서들로 야당 같이 롤럽들 로디스 야다 튠수 들린 마다보들로 마치기 제디스 자우들로 제디스 마다 텐 마다 퓨다미디 마치라기 심기 마다 제 마다 퓨지 제코라 마다 주니 아니 마다 퓨미디 룽디 다 아니 룽디로 genjugi lung 실라비시.
So one of the other types of wind is called ascending wind. And ascending, the function of this ascending wind is actually, as we eat food or swallow, it helps the food or things to get inside and go down and up, even go up and down. So it creates this up-down moment. And that function is actually caused by this ascending wind of the body.
다짜위 룽하기 룽 숨바디 속진기 룽 실라비스 다 속진기 룽 심미디 조가 지기 두히나 되심래 데 두히나로 파지 수주 잡대 아닌가 지기 수 심미디 다 넘바산지비 룰루보들로 마신이기 니버지비스 다 아니 마시워디니 니버디 다 아니 주밀룽딜로 데 속진기 룽 실라비스.
So the third one is actually the wind that holds our life force, and it actually abides within the heart. And then what it does is actually the function of this particular life force holding wind is to ensure that as we are surviving, we have some sort of energy that could keep us alive. So what is actually keeping us alive is actually done by this is the function of this life force holding wind.
달룽 시범디 미념기 룽 생하지마 떼월로 되비스데 아니 포우나로 떼월로 되비 미념기 룽디기 마줄로 드유디 수진 달랭아 지기 제디수 마다 자우달로 가라 바 찹사베 때 아니 주다미디 가라 아니 미념기 룽디기 니버인시데 아니 딜룽 시범디인시.
The fourth wind is actually is called should be called something like menyam gilung, fire. What do you call the wind that prevents from declination or something like that. Is it right? Menyam. Nyam machumidi. So equanimity, equality. So please forgive me with the terms. So the fourth wind is actually that resides within the navel chakra, and this wind is actually called as the wind that actually maintains the equality or maintains the equilibrium of the body. So this one is actually that which we actually consume, the food and everything. It is actually, kind of helps us to digest, and then food is actually passed through as a feces. So this is the kind of action or a function is performed by this kind of a wind, the fourth one.
자위 룽아버디 투르셀기 룽세다 투르세기 룽심이디 마치 찹사기 뒤기 럼닐에 바다 수주잡이 있고 대 아니 찹사기 뒤니 바다 땅 주다 틴비미디 가라 코인시데 아니 룽아치 오글룽세데 투르세기 룽셀라비 있어.
So and then the fifth one is the descending wind, or we can also call it as a woklung, means the air that flows through the lower orifice. And this is actually something that helps us to excrete the impurities of the body.
다짜위 룽아 아니다 지갈로 옛날기 룽아디 딜레nga 지기 미투 남주 하바카 딜레 주 아닌간으로 옴부 공알로 주미기 룽 아니 룽아디 딜레 아니 옴봉알로 주미기 룽압디기 데 미투리 주미 룽디기 바 주토니 남줄레 주미 룽디기 다고니 디즈메 하팔레 주미 룽디기 디소니 데 칼레 주미기 룽디기 조소니 류기 룽디기 렉자소니 비미디 데 아니다 도 룽기 갑로 아니 옛날기 룽압디기 아닌가 소이 옴부 공알기 룽.
So Now these 5 subsidiary winds are actually that passes through our 5 faculties. For example, why you can see is because of the wind of the eyes, wind of the ears, and then the 5 faculties. They actually enable us to contact the objects. For example, when we can feel the touch. This is because of the wind of the touch that enables us to feel the object.
아니 저위 룽아다 연락이 룽아디 수다 두어진 땡아치기 땡기 속들기 룽세 하바 일리 주민들로 찔룽세 일리 주민들로 속룽세데 아닌 일로 두이세.
So all these 5 winds, if you condense them, it could be condensed under 2 categories. The one that flows through the right nostril and the one that flows through the left nostril.
아니 룽 주시기 딜레 사고디 그치나리 주모서 어제다 같이 추주들이 빠엽좀디 땡아치기 류나로 같이기 주구다 아마 둡달로 때자 우마세 바나기 짜디 둡 데디기튼 시다디 짜 일로 로마 인로 장마세니 둡달로 데 아니 로장기 룽세 짜 하바 일레 주민들로 로마기 룽세베 인레 유미짜 중구디들레 장마기 룽세 데 아니니나로 데 아니 룽닙디 주위에서 주기나로 줍달로.
So this, the circulation of these 2 types of winds actually occurs because the moment we are born and then as we develop this kind of a biological body, there are actually 3 types of channel systems. The one that is on the right called as Roma, the one it is in the center as Uma, the central channel, and then the one in the left as Changma. So these 3 central channels are actually especially the one on the sides, the one that is on the right and it's on the left of the central channel. Through these 2 channels, actually we circulate this kind of 2 types of wind.
아니 베니디기 가치기 또 룽기 토갈로 공급달로 때 룽디 짠날리 주니디기 때 가치기 짜디 창작업데 같이 잡베데 상기기 규디디 순날로 순디유스 아니 베니디기 상기기 규디디 순날로 류장베 짜장베 룽장베 심진세 아니 베 순디유스.
So because of this, the air circulation that circulates through our nervous system, especially these 2 channels, so it is very important for us to maintain a proper posture. And then hence the Buddha also taught through his tantric teachings that if your body posture is straight, then the channel systems also get straightened. And as the channel systems are straightened, then the wind that circulates through, it also smoothly passes through and gets straight. And if the circulation of this wind system circulates through our channel systems properly, efficiently, in a straight way, then our mind becomes straight as well.
다니디 같이 룽곰달로데 룽곰비기 줌세신이들로 로지더디치 인세 바귤레티미 귤리송소비 다 검정 오만디 같이 검니베오달로 데 류네 룽네 믹비네스 네숨 땡아치 지가 찬주고 다니베오달로 당불 류네스미디 땡아치 류디마 심길 세당가 날레마 뚠퓨데 아니베도 류디 심길베드니 델레 나기니디 델레 나 무라치세델레 로가네 말바테 쿠심시드니 델레 심 믹비니디 델레 아니 심기 노성 땅탕디 데 아니 바미보 검동주 데 아니 마림바베 슈기에세.
So now what I have presented until now is to give you a background about what is it all about, this nervous system and the wind systems and that which circulates through our body, because it has been taught in the Buddha's teachings itself. And having guided you all through this, the background of this nervous system and the breathing system, now it is to apply them into practice. As we put them into practice, we have to take care of 3 essential parts. That is the key part of the body, then key part of the speech, key part of the mind. And key part of the body is basically you will have to sit down in a Vajra cross-leg posture and so on. Then the speech, key part of the speech is to stay silent without speaking, uttering any word. And in the mind, you will have to visualize and maintain into the state of equanimity.
다 당부 류니디 같이 심길 세우들로 때 하나 심길들로 서주기 심비 기중다 들랜데 서주집이 상기기 서기 심비 기중다 디즘베라 마다서든기 심비 기중시 때 아니 심길 모도 레셔 순디 때 아니기 날레다도 서주다 서주집은 이처럼 기중 존주베 샤미 심길베 샤미 때 같이 우전리 무시디수 슈도 좀베 때감 입치갈레베 음디기 나날레베 때 아니 심기 샤미디 인세
So body posture is actually called Semkil. Semkil, I think it's the posture of the bodhisattvas, and how the bodhisattvas sits in cross-legged posture. And even for this also, there are different styles of sitting posture. And like there are sitting posture of an ordinary practitioner. There is a sitting style of a more advanced practitioner. And then there is a sitting style of the bodhisattvas. And also on the bodhisattvas, there are different levels of realization. And particularly what I would like to share right now is the posture of the bodhisattvas that are on the 10th ground and on the 11th ground. And as for the example, you could just look into the Guru Padmasambhava's pose, where he sits down. His right leg is spread out, and where his left leg is bent inward. That one is actually called as the kind of a recommended body posture here.
다니 심길디 잡달로 대통하기 날린 고마비 좀 멋진 같이 감 입디 바치가 아니베샤 디기 뛴시다디 나나기
So please follow this demonstration.
이다 임디 차차한디 비심레바 같이 산니 춘줄로 아니베 차한디 샤고스 다니루 심길셀라비스 다니 같이 비문입디 바사갈로 가임비리 텔레감 감다 산니 숨디 찌창베샤 샵들로 아니 갑로 같이 노섬당업디 다 치가기디 같이 상기 쭈꾸기 고방 톱니기 된로 인시 디기 나나기디 상기 롱구기 고방 디기 바사나 산니디 같이 추기 잉시샤비 때 아니 벤디기 상기 쭈꾸기 고방 톱니기 때 아니 구숨민도 주르기 다 순로 때 상기 디수기 아니베 심길 아니 슈미디 된다디 아니 벤디 또 같이 류 아니베샤 때 아니기 고방 톱니시 노섬당고스.
So as the most venerable is demonstrating, so the sitting posture, this is actually very significant posture. The right leg is actually spread out, and then the left leg, which is actually bent inward, the toe of the toes of the left leg must be aligned at the heel of the right leg, and then the heel of the left leg, which is inward, should be aligned with our what you call private part or private place, we could say that. And this one, especially, please don't get me wrong with that, and especially the right leg, which is placed outwardly, this represents the attainment of the Nirmanakaya. And then the left leg, which is placed inside, represents the Sambhogakaya. And then the ankle or heel being placed at the body side, at the lower abdomen, and this represents our sphere of reality. So that represents the Dharmakaya. So this is a posture which represents that you are actually mastering or achieving the three kayas just by a sitting posture. And this is how you need to actually imagine even now, right now. Although you maybe not be able to get into that state of three kayas right away, just as you see it, you should be able to visualize that may I, or even make an aspiration that may I attain these three kayas.
다니 이든 시대디 같이 랍기 류기니기 날이 랍기 찾아디 랍기 찾아디 보달로 같이 다지 슈미기 아니 속들기 룽입디 같이 류기 나나지 치가 튼 보달로 다니 저디 순날로 줍달로 다니 같이 신랄리 아니 신라실라비 아니 신라기 짠으로 주입갑로 땡아치를로 파 같이 존남디수 주 들레데 같이 미마인디수 네멜로 제기 네멜로 갭신디 주멜로 세미디수 가라 아니 짠을 룽줍달로 땡뉴니 튀미시 상기기 아니 수미시 다 아니 빈디 더동 같이 곰잡이갑로 아니 버심 미티니 기치들로 다 아니 대봉디기 아니 신라기 라토디 앱고스 대봉니 차라기.
So after the leg posture has been explained, now this is the hand gesture or hand posture. You are supposed to place your thumb at the base of the right hand's ring finger. And basically, as we practice the Dharma, we tend to suffer many physical difficulties, sickness, and so on. And this is actually taught in the teachings that it is caused by some kind of obstacle-making spirits and all like that. And then that, like obstacle-making spirits, can actually enter into our body through this right ring finger. And in order to ensure that their entry is blocked, so a meditator is always going to press this base of the right ring finger. Right ring finger. Am I right? As I'm doing here, please don't get confused with the left. Right ring finger.
다 아날랭아 지기 룽 바다 땀다 룽곰니 오마디 배우달루 데 당보 하번니네 룽 슈에 바다다니 들렌 아날레 바다 가림지 입투투 치가다 입자고서 아니 입자미들로 시르진생아 지기 룽파 입자비스 다 아니 파 입마추 치갈레 들레 룽골레베 나나텐 데 나나템징아 지기 마 포기 올로 땅고스 다 아니 포기 올로 가림지 강수습 강베샤 아날레 록담대로 두루골레 베 마음 입 마습지 골레 베 파땅 아니 쳤지 다 두루파다 입 가dim지 입 수수자 두루파 입 마습골레 들레 아날레 어찌지 슈 랑기 고우지베 들레 슈 딩부 집에 하나나 된 두루마주 가dim지 입 수수 입자 두루 입 마습지 들레 딩부 집에 파땅 니 다음 파 가dim지 입 수수 입자 두루 입 마습지 들레 슈베 나나텐 텔레마 땡아지마 포춤나르주 마 에비자 두루마 숲지 슈베 바다땅메 다 아니 숨딜로 데 포모 머닝길룽 세텔렌 잠룽 벌룽 닥룽 세 아네빌라비세
So now with this hand gesture, it is time for exhaling and inhaling. So as you are going to inhale or exhale? I just got confused. So sorry, I just got confused. If as a translator gets confused, of course the audience will be. So it is my first, privilege and priority that I get it correct. So it is like, first of all, it is exhaling. As you exhale, you have to let through the nostril, that breathe out. As you breathe out, just breathe out and then try to hold that as much as you can. Just hold that. And then as you cannot hold it anymore, just gently inhale. So this is one round. And then the second round, you can just repeat the same cycle. But here is actually as you bring in. Now it is... Earlier it was exhaling, now it is inhaling. You inhale, bring in through the nostrils, and then put this air at your stomach and press it down and hold it there as far as possible. And then you can do that, and the moment you cannot bear it anymore, just let it off gently. So this is second round, and then again go to the lungdi pachir ani chikhachachi tamo te nana jamidi ani ni dom de chikziina so the one cycle is let me repeat again for the sake of clarity. First cycle is you exhale and hold it there as much as possible, and then gently let it off. And then there actually you are inhaling that time, and then hold that breath as far as possible. Then as you are holding the breath, it is time for you to let it off gently. So past two set is called number one. And then second one, you again exhale. And as you exhale, you can exhale with a little bit of a sound that you could hear. It doesn't have to be, others have to hear that you could barely hear. At that level, you just breathe out. And in a smaller way, just return that and then hold it inside. That second one should be a little bit stronger than the first one. So that is the second cycle. And in the third cycle, you exhale again, do the same thing, repeat the same process, and inhale, and then repeat the same process. But as you inhale that time now, you got to do little stronger, much stronger than the other two. And then you hold as far as possible. You normally hold it under the belly button. And then having done that, you could no longer breathe this out, hold it, and you exhale a little harshly, more loudly. And these three sounds, style of breathing is actually called as you could even call it the soft way of breathing, then the moderate way of breathing, and the harsh way of breathing.
다 날랭아 지기 랍디다 지도면 안에 입심리 땡아지 아니 즈무다 튜중님데 안에 받았던 곳. 다 아니가 지 바산지기 귀나로 도르지 쿠르수 지템비 쿠르수세 쿠르수 레샤지 숨비기 날에 아니 도르지 쿠르수세 다 아니 탑다 시럽 니수메 바베 또니질로 도르지 소메 다 아니 주니기 다스니시 다 아니 도르지 쿠르수디 조심레 랍니시라마 뿌모기 투갈로 띵티기 아니 기미들로 데 르네세 데 라비세 데렌 다도 야레망아 질룽 바비닐룽 포모 만닝기 룽 숨베 곰탕라미딜루
I have forgotten one more. The most venerable mentioned that these three stages of breathing is actually called as female breathing, male breathing, and agender breathing, or like yes. So this is the also way of calling this way of breathing. And now it's time for you to make your hand like this, and then as you did in the first part, press this ring finger base, and then pull this into the center. And again, these two must, the index finger and the ring finger must be actually bent like this. So this kind of a gesture is actually sometimes called as a mundane fist, or sometimes it is also called as Vajra. In the transcendental sense, supermundane sense, it is called as Dorji Kutsur, or the Vajra fist. So you have to make this, and then place it on your right knee, with all the leg posture, hand, everything, and then. So the leg posture, this is not just with one hand, you have to do with the two hands as well. What you have to do, left hand also.
다 하나리 니디 조베 다니 숨바디 믹비니디 다 하니 믹비니디 마바미 보검탄 레시 순디 디베돌로 디수 가랑 같이 베미수 같이 구당바 배워진 다 하니 베돌로 두디 배워진 같이 믹비니디 당불룽기 믹바스미디 같이 아니 심디 룽다 심니 소수미 시노 심레 디 룽나다 템다 치가주다 아니루 마잉바 자니치 데 니바디 미기네실라비 데 아니 심기니라이 미투 따우달로 같이 바 미투 찔루 따심레 다 날레냐 신강한데 지기 사고기 똥날로 따심네 안으로 믹마주로 하고스 다 믹당 시바디 주로진 텔랭아치 룽기인된 게 미소스 다 미투 마주아베 자와진 땡아치 바속신기 퇴길기 갑루 시비기 데 아니 나와지기 텔레데 냠낭디수에 안알로 테니 사람에게 딱주디수에 안알로 샹스 텔레 나치기나 셈룽셈 이르메 이스위기 노디 데 아니 딜루 데 짐바가네 메바베 아니베 주바진 데 아니기 같이 책취다 텔레 차제 침복이 똑바 때 아니 같이 바 우미기 따왔으면 수 가라 아니기 깨팅오세 아니 벤디기다 믹비기니 갑로 카체자 닙디 셈달룬 소수미 시심레 아니루 셴바다 짐바가네 마키와베 곰니치다 미투바 아니 냐신강 데줄다 심레 아니루 마주아베 따되고 아니니 카체자니스.
Now the third part of the key third part is actually how you place your mind. And as for this, when you are already, as you have already assumed this kind of a posture, and now it is to look into your mind. As you do that, now the key part of the mind placement is here, that you must think you are breathing and then your mind is indivisible. That is actually, you could look into yourself and then focus on that. And if you tend to think they're separate entities, then you are now again going to the wrong way. So make sure your mind and the breathing is actually, channelized as one entity, and focus on that. So this is one way to do that. And another way to do that is actually, you have to stare about yoke length. Yoke length would be about 3 meters, I guess, maybe 2.5 meters. So just focus that much. You just keep staring that object. And as you stare at that object, that is called as the object of the eye. The eye object, as you stare at it, ensure that that object and your mind are actually indivisible. And you must focus on that. If you actually just tend to think that object is separate from your mind, then again you are going the wrong way. So you should ensure that you maintain that intense focus, that the object of the eye and your mind is indivisible. And if you are quite established in this practice, then the Dzogchen realizations, like the 4 visions of Dzogchen traditions, or the 10 visions that is taught in the new Tantras, and Mahamudra practice, and then the Madhyamaka, great Madhyamaka realization, and all occurs through this. So that is why this, of all the positions, this mental positioning is so important.
다 날래 같이 곰니기를 말에 아님지 베비십니다. 라린 고마딩 같이 지갑에 희망하기 사지마다 곰 들랭같이 지갑에 사지 땅에 때 아날레들하나 소속이 되버다지 더불어 곰니 아니면 내가 마다 사지 뜬게시.
So now I will demonstrate this, having presented to you all the background and the positioning, the whole key instructions having shared to you all, I will demonstrate this. And you can actually follow after this. And this, you just get yourself used to it now, and you can carry on as your lifelong practice here henceforth.
아니 룽 바다 담들로 지질리 수노 아니 룽 바다 슈 담들로 같이 럽이 아니 이미디 바다네 왜 찾아 바다 땅고스 들리 룽 수다 템들로 아니 왜 수도 굽디베 룩나 앱디베 아니 자니 들리 수노스.
Again, one more forgot to mention earlier is, as you are exhaling, you are earlier holding this, your gesture, hand gesture is like this. As you're exhaling, just let it go like this. And then as you inhale, bring it back. Press your, like this, and then make this gesture. That is inhaling, exhaling. This one, please keep it in the mind.
다니다도 통수집에 고마지 아니비스 다니 곰탕디 다다지 공리 슈미기 믹바디수다 딜리니디수 아니베자 다니 박가림지 치가 윤림 샤츠투자 나나가림지 윤림 샤츠투자 배워진 다니리딘디 윤딘기디베 대야상기 고마이 톱니메스.
Right now, the length of holding this breath was quite short. You should do as much as you could. And this is some kind of a key positioning of your own body. And if you rely on this, you will get to realize the greater qualities and obtain the greater qualities of the wind exercise. And through this, we can actually achieve enlightenment, the Buddhahood.
다니기 룽아네베 곰바진데 평유가 되베 모서진 다상기기 담보라 들랭아지 룽기 카도진바세 따브라 아니 룽 곰되바진 아니 룽기 카도에 돈이 있으가지 룽 아니 날레 룽아유 아니디 식바심미기 룽세 중앙하기 룽셀라비 아니 디수기 카도 값세 마브디수 돈이 델레 디기tun시다데 짜데 곰마지데 링퉁진바세 룽 가dim지 링투 바치가 줘도 나나 가dim지지도 아니 디수시 딜레 짜직디 곰바진 델레 룽기 톱진바세 델lunga 가dim지 나나샤스스로 샤수 파타치가 가dim지 이브로 입수 아님지기 인티 닌샤디수 조습데 아니 톱진바스 다 아날레델레데 중앙하기 룽디술 델lun기랑 짤룽 레수룽세 조이갈레 델랭아지 추날루 마티미 미기 미스니 델레데 남칼레바 델레데 파니 수니베 뒤로디 숲디 지밀라레바디 수이나미디술로 다 아니베 주니기 평유 다 아니빈디기 땡아지 디수기 짝잉디 공급 이메스.
So this kind of a practice you have to do as far as possible. And as you focus on this practice, now as you get more serious with this practice, or as you deeply engage into this kind of a wind exercise, you will start even recognizing or noticing the color of the winds. And then as you recognize the color of the wind, you can actually see the winds of the 5 elements. And then as you do further, you can even see how long you're breathing out and how you are inhaling in. So this way, if you do this even further, if you persist further on, then you will even attain to the level of achievement that even if you are thrown into the water, you will not be drowned. Or even if you are thrown into the fire, fire will refuse to burn you. And then you will be levitating and fly in the air like what Milarepa did it. So these are some kind of fundamental benefits that comes along aside as you achieve the highest level of realization.
나소다 드리기디 아님지 메시티 다가라기 나치라 다니 나치기 취 나치기 삼바 정부지 배워진 다 아닐리티 민노섬 정부지 리준베 튼시다디 노섬 당샤바진 다 아니디 기왕우 슈이메 다 아니보들로 마치 가라기 드리나로 다 아니 남바산지비 취룽기 토갈로베 찌기질로 다 삼바 정부기 토갈레베 데 나치 대화베니디기 다 아니기 기위자와디기 나치라나 두기 합나로 당보라 명하다 옆시디수 구치샤베틴 데디수기 공시 그치 미디 줍수주세 때 디기튼시다디 같이 두기 개함나로 쇼미기 마체바 잠링치기 텔라마 쭈쿠 림보치 켐보 텐징기 케보드수 가라 구세샤페 텐주세 때 디기튼시다디 같이 잠불리나로 텔레 먹투 네암드수 테미드수 가라 시주세 때 같이 샤시비 멜람치가답게 예세 때 아니 멜람타바진 때 같이 밀레시보들로 때 가라 노섬치가답에 따바진 때 아니디 때 줍시세 때 같이 수행수는 같이라기 셰셰베 때 아니 빈딩 같이라 가라기 때 아니 노섬타메 아니 멜람치치가답게 예세.
So now this is much I could actually share so far. So this exchange was definitely making of a huge accumulation of merits, and we would like to dedicate this merit. And the fact that in the dedication, let's do this by our gathering here and then listening to me and then I being able to share my thoughts on you all, this merit let's dedicate to the well-being of His Majesty, the King and the royal family. Then also in the world, entire world, we have so many Dharma masters. May all of these masters live long and then have their enlightened activities fulfilled, spread far and wide. And particularly, let's dedicate this effort for the pacification of the warfare activities that is happening in the world. And as we do together, one person's effort and many persons doing together will have a great difference. And I not only heard about this, I also experienced that this does make a difference when we make aspirations together. So let's all of us together fold our hands together and make an aspiration, dedication aspiration like this.
Sunamdi Tamjin Zibani Topne Nebe Janam Pamji Kiga Nachi Bolong CB Sole Jonam Dilwar Shu